This video will provide you a tutorial on how to enter data into the Maternal Substance Exposure Database, or MatEx. You'll begin by going to cpqccdata.org and logging in. On the far left-hand side, you'll see an option from MatEx Database. Click here to begin. The data that you see here is from a demo center. If you would like to edit a record, simply click on the record and click Edit. Today, I'll show you how to enter a new record. The first tab that will come up is the Demographics tab. You'll see that the MatEx ID is assigned by the intake system. You also have the option to include the ID from the NICU data record, an optional hospital infant ID, or the optional NAD state ID. Under admission type, you see there are three options: inborn, outborn, and 30-day readmission. This last option is only applicable if the infant was discharged from your hospital and is being readmitted to your hospital for symptoms of NAS. You'll see that if you click this, you'll need to enter the prior MatEx ID if you know it, and you'll also need to enter in the admission date. The rest of the information on the Demographics tab should be fairly self-explanatory. The next tab that we'll look at is Maternal History. You can click whether the mother received MAT during the pregnancy, as well as marking the maternal drug exposure. The next tab is the Maternal Screen tab. On this one, you can mark the toxicology results from the mother. For example, if you know that the mother was positive and she was positive for opiates, but you're not sure which opiates or the chart wasn't clear, you can then click Other, Describe, and in the description type opiates or opiates unknown. However, if you click Unknown at the top, the only options available to you are unknown. The next tab that we'll look at is the Infant Screen. It looks really similar to the Maternal Screen and has the same options. Under Infant Non-RX treatment, the first question asks about a structured non-pharmacologic approach, such as Eat, Sleep, Console, and whether or not this was used. It then asks you which types of non-pharmacologic support did the infant receive. Under the Infant RX Treatment tab, you can check whether the infant received any pharmacologic drugs in your hospital, and then what were the primary drugs and secondary drugs that were used. The last tab, Disposition, asks whether the infant was discharged on NAS treatment drugs, as well as if they received any mother's milk within the last 24 hours of infant hospital discharge. You can also see at the bottom that it asks about an all-safe discharge checklist. If you're unsure what this means, you can click on the example here. This will show you an example discharge checklist. Your hospital can make your own and tailor it to suit your unit. If you don't have a checklist, you can simply click No Checklist. When you're done, click Create, and this will bring you back to the main record screen. To download this data, click the CSV button on the top left. You'll notice that this will download the data for the year 2020. If you would like to change the year and download data from 2019, you'll need to change the year and then click the CSV button to download. If you ever find yourself getting lost or unfamiliar with a particular data metric that's being used, you can go into the top right-hand corner where you'll see the Database Quick Start Guide for MatEx, as well as the MatEx Manual of Definitions. These documents are wonderful resources that are really helpful when you're entering data, especially for the first time. I suggest that you download them and have a copy available as you enter your first records. Thanks for watching! Check out our other videos to see how to view this data on the reports site and use this data for your QI projects to improve the care of infants with NAS.